written out at the beginning of a sentence. Okay? Talking about the same thing here. When should lots of zeros and commas be replaced by descriptive words? Anything after million. Okay? Because you don't want to use, look how much better that looks. How many people were there? Probably 5 million. Or, you want to write that? It just doesn't look as good. Okay? This looks a lot better, a lot easier to read, doesn't change the meaning. Okay, dictionary cleanup. Getting maximum benefit from the Total Eclipse automatic number conversion capabilities involves fine-tuning your dictionary, which is what I've been preaching since we started about, especially numbers. Even removing some counterproductive entries. Okay? So it may come out, but it may be counterproductive to something that you're going to do later. So take it out. Okay? When this is done, you will be able to write what you hear and let Eclipse interpret the numbers intelligently according to context. Okay? Now let's consider a number of steno examples. How would you be defined an older CAD system and how they're defined for Total Eclipse? Okay? And this is what I told you. This is the way that we used to do it. You had to define it as a conflict in the old days. Not now. All you do is one. Now, okay? It already knows the number conversion. I mean, it already knows the digit. When you write a digit, it knows it's a digit. So it's automatically going to write it. You don't have to define it. It already knows what it is, okay? So you don't have to do it anymore. All you do is define it as 1 when you write your number 1. Not the number 1, but when you write, however you write O-N-E. Okay? That's the only way that you need to define it. Yes, ma'am?
Now I'm going to do something different because I was checking when I do a clock, I can do with the K asterisk if I want to do a number with
Yeah.
And it changed it, and now it's doing, for example, I was doing 9 o'clock, and now it's doing 9:00 o'clock. This will just do 9 o'clock.
N-I-N-E?
No, with the number, I'm confused. This is supposed to be 9:00 and then o'clock. I thought it was just a number and then o'clock. It doesn't need the :00 because o'clock indicates time.
Yeah. But that's what it's doing?
And it used to just be the number o'clock, and now,
What did you change?
the only thing we did was we clicked off the one ignore written numbers. We deleted 2.
And you're writing the number? N-I-N-E?
Pressing the number bar.
And you want it to be the number 9 o'clock?
Yes, but I don't want the :00 o'clock, because isn't that a double? Because o'clock
Yeah.
stands for time, so you shouldn't need the
Yeah.
time.
That's something I think you have to fix in all, you have to,
Trying to think.
It wasn't doing that until,
We'll take it off.
go to Alt U and go under numbers and go under the setting where it says time, and it should read like 9 a.m. or 9 o'clock a.m. It gives you the.
oh, okay. Well, what if I don't want it to always, what if it is AM? I don't want o'clock AM.
No, this one right here.
No, it's just giving you the example. It shouldn't put AM unless you put AM.
click on this
So
one.
it's just kind of giving you the example of what it's going to come out like.
So, okay, and now
So you want it to come out as 9 o'clock and just choose that one.
Now it's gone. All right.
Now it's got it?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Didn't know I was-
You know, and guys, that's why I had you bring your machines. You know, so we can, kind of do this thing by trial and error. Okay, on the dollars, same thing. Okay, that's all you have to do is write out dollars. You don't have to do anything else. It already knows with numbers, it's gonna put it as a dollar symbol. You don't have to put a dollar symbol anywhere in there, okay?
So the DLARS should automatically convert it to the dollar sign after it's written, after a series of numbers.
After a series of numbers,
Okay.
correct. Okay? Now, if you write, does anyone even do this? Write DZ for the number?
That's my dollars versus dollar.
You stroke them different?
I can do it either, I can do dollars or DLARS, or if I wanna do, in the other theory that I learned, if you wanna do $100 is one stroke, you add the DZ to make $100 versus
Yeah.
$100, which is HUND, versus $100 is HUNDZ.
It's still gonna come out the same. It should come out the same, whether it's dollar or dollars. Why?
If I don't put the Z, it just does it as dollar, but if I want the dollars,
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter. It's gonna change it to money anyway. So it doesn't know to add an S for dollars or dollar or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
no.
So say you write $1, okay? It doesn't matter whether you put the DZ or not, whether it's dollars or dollar. All this knows to do is to change it to dollar, to change it to dollars. That's it. So it's not gonna put an S on the end or whatever. It just knows to put the dollar symbol.
Or if you want the word dollars,
Or if you want the word dollar. Was
I
that?
just don't wanna delete it because, is it all, they say dollars, is it always going to convert into numbers?
If there's a number there. I mean, if it's coming out, leave it. Leave it. If it's coming out the right way, then leave it. I don't know why you would need it two different ways. Is what I'm saying. But if that's the way you hear it, and you're stroking exactly what you hear, then okay. Or maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying completely.
Is for just straight like 5. Just for dollars, I do DLARS, but if it's $100 or $1,000, then I use the DZ.
Okay?
So if it's just single, if it's like.
But you
100
never just stroke out dollar, DLAR, do you? Okay, that's what I was thinking. You were saying something else about dollar versus dollars. Okay.
That's my.
And it should make a difference. And guys, this is the only way when you stroke the number with another stroke that you're gonna need the number. Okay? So say you do $5 in one stroke, now you have to define it differently. Okay? And this is the way you do it. You don't do it like this. This is the old way we used to do it. You do it like this. Okay?
Would you even put them together because it should?
Huh?
That's just if you want the word dollars written out, you would, see, I think mine would be DL.
No, you don't want, you want it
I didn't
to
think
come
you
out like
wanted
this.
those two attached. I thought you wanted
Oh,
just
so you
5
wanted-
written out FIVE, and then you would do your dollars separately.
That's it.
Guys, this is if you do it in one stroke. This is one stroke. So 5DZ. Somebody does it 5DZ because they're saving an extra stroke. Then that's how you define it. Okay? When you're doing it in one stroke, that you want it to mean something different. I mean, it's not something different. You want it to mean dollars. and you want it to come out like that, and you write it in one stroke. That's how it needs to be defined. This is one of the only times that you use, when you use the number and a symbol with it, then you're gonna need the number. You're usually gonna need the number in when you define it. That's gonna be one of the few times that you need to have the number.
But I don't think this pertains to, does this one pertain to you? Because how you write currency, you do DLARS, right? To put the sign in.
You don't do it in one stroke, do you? Okay, then you don't need to worry about it. Y'all don't need to worry about it. Okay, so if somebody's watching this video and they do it in one stroke, which I do it 5D, 6D.
Can't you only use it 1 through 9 though?
Yeah, but it knows.
Yeah, that's why it has you in the
knows.
currency option and alt U. That's why it says no values under write out.
So even if I do 1 HUN 9D, it's gonna put it as number sign 109. So it doesn't matter, it's the last number that you put it with that converts it back to the first number with dollars. Okay? But if you don't write it like this, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. That's only if you write the number and the stroke together. This is what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where you write the 5, come back dollars, then you don't have to do anything. The 5 stands by itself, and the dollars just needs to be converted to dollars, DOLLARS. Same thing with cents. But if you do the cents, like I was just saying with the dollars, and you do it in one stroke, then this is the way you have to do it. You don't do it that way, so don't worry about it. Right?
No, I'm just wondering. No, I'm just making it harder than it is.
Don't make it harder than it needs to be. If you don't do it, don't try to think of a scenario where, because all you're going to do is mess yourself up.
You
Do it the
always-
way you've been doing it, and define it the way that it needs to be defined, the way that I'm telling you right now. And it's going to come out. Okay? Got it?
I guess I don't know. I was looking at it over the week, and I have ones that are like 3/10, 3/5, 4/5, and it has it with a number, and then the second one is written out and it makes it do 3/3/5. But if we're not supposed to have any numbers, the number bar, am I supposed to delete these? Am I supposed to change these all to the word 3 and then tenths? I have a bunch of them. All these different ones.
Is that the way you stroke?
I've never had a test or any audio where it's through any of these. So I've never personally written these, which is why I'm apprehensive about changing these. Have you, Diane, ever had a fraction, like a 3/4 or a?
No, if I ever had it, I would write it out the way it sounds. So if they say 3/4, I'd write 3/4.
Yeah.
And then later on, I would go in, and if it doesn't change, then I would change it to a fraction. Because I don't spend much time.
I've never written a fraction, but we're not like this one, we're supposed to delete the number bar. But what do we do when it's something like this, it's a mix? Would it know if I delete the 3? Because that was my question over the weekend. If I delete these primary numbers from the number bar that we're not supposed to have, will it know how to do all of these?
Which is why I leave mine where they all come out digits. So that way, if I ever have to go back,
Yeah, that one. This one does.
like
but-
if you have 3 1/4, right? Is that what you're saying? It doesn't know to turn it to a fraction 3 and 1/4.
Yeah.
See, with mine, I leave mine digits, that way I don't have to worry about that. In case I ever have to just spell it out, I'll come back and spell it out, you know what I mean? But that way.
Yeah, see, I guess what I've always done is I kind of do the same thing. That's what I hear. I hear 3/4, so I write out THREE fourths, FOURTH.
And then
So I don't write it the 3 and then fourths like you have it. But if you need to think about how you're gonna write it. And if you're gonna write it that way, the way that you have it in your dictionary, then you might just wanna leave it. You're not gonna hear it very often, but
I just didn't know, because I have not heard that in any dictation I have encountered so far, so I didn't want to start deleting a whole bunch of stuff and then realize that I needed it.
yeah, yeah. So when you're going through your dictionary, I mean, unless it's something blatant like I just showed you on the $3 million thing or whatever, you know, take it out. But if it's something that, you know what, I don't know what I'm gonna do right there or whatever, then, I mean, don't necessarily just take it out or whatever. Think about how you're gonna write it. And if it's not anywhere close to the way that you're gonna write it, then just take it out.
Are you talking about something that was already pre-entered into your dictionary?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of numbers in
Yeah,
there.
don't mess with those, because it not, unless you're gonna write it out the way it's written out in the dictionary, like if that's the way you write, then yeah, but if not, then just leave them alone and write it
Yeah.
the way you write it. You
Yeah.
know, whatever's easier for you, however you hear it and that.
And especially if you have somebody else's dictionary, which it looks like you did, you know, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You have to go through there and filter all of that stuff.
I've just been nervous about deleting stuff because I'm not exactly sure what's creating the non-conversion. And
Yeah.
I'm afraid if I just delete a whole bunch of stuff, it'll only make the issue worse.
No, because you can always put it back in. So it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, if something's not translating, then it's something wrong in your dictionary or it's something wrong in your user settings. Okay? And then, you know, but guys, you have to mess with this stuff. You think you're gonna do it just here in class? Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You have to mess with this stuff. Okay? And then when you get stuck, or if you get stuck, then come to me and ask me, hey, look, you know, I'm getting stuck on this, or call support and say, hey, look, this thing isn't translating. What do I need to do? Okay? So if you don't want to wait till, you know, I can look at it or whatever, and if I can't figure it out, then we'll call support together and we'll figure it out. But if you think that you're going to fix it here in class, not going to happen. And everything is just the way that it was telling you, okay? So these are just kind of redundant little things or what it's telling you. So you don't have to do anything with several hundred. You write it out, $100. You know, if that's the way you do it in one stroke, then that's the way it needs to be defined. Or you can do it either way. I say keep it simple, okay? Just do the $100. And it'll know with the numbers that it's going to convert it. So it's just going in here and giving you the different examples on 10, 100, 1,000, million, whatever, $1 million. So you want to go through here and decipher it yourself, up yourself. All it's doing is just going over stuff that we've already gone over. Okay? Now the point, when you want a point in there, you have to write it different. Because it's going to be different than when they're telling you, well, what's the point? And then you're going to have this come out.
Mine's PNT with the asterisk.
So however you do it, make sure that it's different than the word point. Okay? So when they say it was $1.5 million, then it's going to be point. That's the way I do it, point. But I do it with an asterisk. Okay? I do all of my weird stuff with an asterisk, so the asterisk now is my best friend. So, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to do this anymore. Okay? This was the old way of doing it. All you have to do is write the bracket, decimal, bracket. That's it. Okay? Same thing with 9:30 a.m. Okay? I would suggest you do it a different way than the same way that you write am. I do it with an asterisk. I do it, okay? And it's just gonna do a time conversion, okay? And it'll be defined, you know, as A period, M period. Same thing with PM. Now this is what we were talking about when you do o'clock, okay? And you do it with the number. So 7K, 8K, 9K, any of that stuff. And the way that you want to define it is however you want it defined. I don't want it like that. So I do it with the SEVEN. Okay? What?
So instead of a digit, you would put the number? mean,
I
the
would.
word,
I would.
And it goes to convert it? Bless you.
Yes.
Thank you.
When it's with the K. Be careful. Be careful with what you're putting in there right now.
I'm looking at what I
Rachel.
have already.
Because if you don't do it like this, because I usually do it like this.
Mhm.
So I use the number 7 o'clock, and it already knows when it's with o'clock that it changes it to SEVEN. That's one that I don't write the number with.
Okay.
But when, you know, it's used with o'clock, then it knows to convert it to SEVEN. Okay? I don't usually write it. I mean, I kind of started trying to write it like that, where you can do it.
I was
But-
taught that way, but it doesn't come instantly to me, so I
Yeah.
normally do the number and then
Yeah.
clock with the
Mhm.
asterisk. But I have it in the dictionary in case if I do remember.
Yeah. But if this is the way you like it, and you like the number 7 o'clock, then leave it like that. I don't care. I'm just telling you how I do it. Okay?
We're supposed to have, when I click on it and I look at the dictionary entry for the text, it needs to have that brace in there?
This?
What is the brace?
Or this?
That brace, what does that brace do?
That just means that it puts it together.
So this is what I was having problems on as far as converting the command, like for example, the asterisk T, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
No, go ahead, I was just cracking my back.
So, for whatever reason, it works sometimes and then it doesn't. Right now, I'm trying to write 7, I write 7 out, and then I do asterisk T, and then I write in the morning. And it should automatically convert it to 7:00.